Good evening. The Who's today were at Wyong. It was a fair dinkum joke there today. Um, Nobody there. I told you it was going to be no good. I still went. It was a ghost town. Tumbleweed was the only thing blowing through the wind, through the betting ring. Uh, no punters there at all. Zero. Um, and what didn't we serve it up to you on the fluck on the screen? We never got under 100 and not 110 all day. It was like the good old days where there was plenty of purr on the board. The only thing was there wasn't a punter in sight. You could have driven a truck through the middle of the ring. You wouldn't have hit anybody. Um, and we had plenty of purr every race. The first race 115.6, but no players. And we just cheered the favourite home. It was an absolute beauty. And it got the chocolates. I'm talking about number 2 for Thompson's table. Sigmund, it sat in 4th position, sat outside the lead. And it was able to get past the leader on the turn who copped the wind. Talking about Zanity, who led on the fence, got past it and was too strong, went on and won by 1.3 lengths from a 20 to 1 chance. As I say, we had plenty of purr, and but no players. Favourite got home, and the quartet of bookies that were there today, 2 on the fence and 2 on the outside ring. We stuck fat all day, and it must the tab. Geez, they must rub their hands together when betting these fixed odds. Of course, we had 115.6 in the first on the screen. They have that plus every single race. They don't get under it. It's a river, but they've got plenty of customers. Plenty of customers in the lovely those 2,000 TAB outlets. The racetrack, betting ring, ghost town. Absolutely, the game is cattle trucked. It's not worth a caser. Absolutely fly blown it is. We got to the second race. Now the wind. You'd swear blind. Well, the track was good. The rail was normal, and it was deja vu from yesterday, where at the first 5 races, the wind at Hawkesbury yesterday took care of the leaders, and today it was so similar. The first 5 races, there was the wind to. There were runners up near the lead that won, but not leading on the fence. But as soon as they, after race 5, the wind all of a sudden died, and lo and behold, well, it's that second General Sniper it got a card up by a 60 to 1 chance, and the next race it went to the lead, the favourite, and luckily there was no wind. It would have got beat for sure. Talking about Wiley Bay, that was in race 7, and jumping the gun, I'm still talking about race 8, and the last, it was allowed to cross the winner and go to the fence Doomsman, and it led all the way, but the wind was very, very light, kept on decreasing after race 5 to just a very, very light breeze with no effect by the last race. Told you about the first. The second race, it was won by the favourite, again, the favourite, but one of the pros, one pro was there playing, sitting in the shallows, and they had a play to this. We bet $3.20 at one stage. Now the flux today, of course, they were taken off the 2 bookies on the fence, and to get a prize sent out, it had to be on the 2 boards. So if one was $3.20, the other was $3. It only went out the $3, but the $3.20. I might have been $3.50 in the outside ring. Don't take the prizes off my board. Why would you? And in this race, as I say, the favourite got the cash. It sat outside the leader. It led on the fence Gay's horse, ridden by the girl, the young apprentice, Pearson. It copped the wind. It dropped out and ran 3rd, beaten 2.8 lengths, and sitting on its outside, getting a bit of windbreak. On the winner was Jay Collett on the first starter, Straturbo, and it hung out in the straight, as I say, went on for a strong win, won by 1.8 lengths. That's all I want to say. Race 3, the win factor helped here. Scram, ridden by Jenny Duggan. It's only a small little thing. It was in between runners, got a split turning for home, and it was too good. And it did start. Well, we put it up second favourite. We put the first start of Waikiki Gold up favourite. It was very hard to lay. $2.25, the 5 to 4 chance out to $2.80, 5 to 4 to 7 to 4. Couldn't lay it. And the winner, Scram, we only put it up twos, put it up deuce, got out to 2.5 to make you laugh, and it was into 3 to 1, $3, 2 to 1 at the death. As I say, that the pro who was there, he had a nice little plate of it as well, and it was a losing race for the captains. It sat in between runners, got a split 3 wide turning for home, and went on and won by 1 length, running down the leader, who was a good effort. It ran into the wind and held on well. Bando, who led on the fence, didn't have a price and went from $4 out to $6. We had 100, and going back to the second race, on the screen there was a fat 123.3, but well, between the 4 of us there was a lot less. And similarly in the first, in this third race, 113.5 on the screen, and similarly between the 4 of us there was a lot less, but we were playing tiddlywinks there at one stage. Race 4 on the screen, 111.1, and this will tell you how the win factor came into play in this race and also the next race. Enfinelli, it went back to last position on the outside, where it was always going to be. In a race where there was a fair bit of pace on, it led on the fence. I'm in the money, and it led and taking off at around about the 700 or 800 metre mark was the winner in the field of 8, Enfinelli, and it was the widest runner coming down the side and joined the leaders out wide turning for home, and went on to win by 0.8 of a length from another runner who had a bit of cover. It sat in 4th hole, Hennessy's View, but the wind came into play there, allowing Enfinelli to get the break around the field. The wind was fairly stiff and go on win. It didn't have a price. Enfinelli went up $5, a 4 to 1 chance, and we were $10, $11 at the death, and it was unlayable. But by the same token, most of the others were, except the favourite, Magic June. We put it up 6 to 4, got it to 2 to 1, $3. Did lay 3,000 to 1,500 at one stage, plus a few other bets, and it sat the favourite. It sat outside the lead. Well, it didn't sit outside the lead. Leading at the 600 metre mark by 4 lengths was in the money. I said leading, but it was a clear leader, and it was chasing it. Magic June. It got up to a turning for home, but couldn't go on. Held on to 3rd hole, beaten 2.3 lengths. Race 5, there was 112.8 on the screen amongst the 4 of us, a lot less. But anyway, again, the wind came into play here. Speed on Ice resuming from a spell. It sat 3 wide the entire journey. Running into the wind on the fence was Last Day Friday, the favourite. Didn't have a name, $2.50 to $3.50. Tell you the flux in this race. They were a real prince. $4 out to $6.50, back to $5.50. Buckmore didn't have a name, from $4.40 to $6.50. Last Day Friday from $2.70 out to $3.60. Flitterby didn't have a price, $10 out to $15. Speed on Ice didn't have a price, $14 to $26. Well, I was when I jumped. No one there to play. No one there to play. No one found it. Thank God. Next run, Palace Coup. It was $3.50 out to $4. Started that price. And Lifu, it was a lazy $10 out to $15, or 16 even, 17 even. And Magic Academy, it was 41 out to 81. And as I say, sat 3 wide all the way. Speed on Ice resuming for a spell, but got the windbreak. The wind was fairly strong, and it got the cover and was able to come around them. Sat 3 wide all the way and win by 0.5 of a length from the horse who led on the fence Last Day Friday. So its run was a bit better than it looked. If the wind wasn't there, it most certainly would have won. And all of a sudden, the wind started to disappear, and lo and behold, if you're up leading on the fence, you weren't affected as much as the previous races. And here we saw the favourite get home, General Sniper. When they hit the first bend, after that, starting at the mile out of just past the winning post, when they hit the first bend, it was leading, but coming out wide and challenging for the lead was Car Hill, the bottom one, the bottom weight. Finish. I did lay 6,100 in at one stage, and started 40s. It went up and to the favourite, and Jenny Duggan wisely. The breeze was still there, but not as strong. Wisely eased and let it go around, and then she got a lovely card up all the way to the turn where she got to the lead, but she had to show plenty of vigour to get it home, and it only won by 0.8 of a length from Gypsy Ruler, who was always handy in about fourth position, copped a little bit of a check in the run, but as I say, failed to run down the favourite, who won by 0.8 of a length. We put it up 6-4 on General Sniper, and we got it out to $1.85, and there wasn't a lot of cash for it, but there wasn't much cash for anything in the race. Even the second pick, Striving, it was $4.60 out to $4.80, 114.2 on the screen, but we had less amongst the four of us, and the favourite got the cash, and we did our money. Race 7 on the screen, 116.4, and now the wind had only had weakened to be only a very light breeze, and going straight to the front was this favourite, Wiley Bay, and lucky for it the wind had dropped, because it wouldn't have been getting home otherwise. It struggled to hold on and beat the 60-1 chance loading. Taken straight to the front by Father Schofield was the favourite, Wiley Bay, and towards the finish of betting it was labelled. We put it up 6-4 on. We put them up 6-4 on it, $1.60 Wiley Bay, and $2.40 per zero. Per zero at the finish, it got out to $2.80, and never laid it. But the favourite, we got it to $1.90 at one stage of the betting, and it was laid on there at the finish, and only started $1.60. But as I say, if you were on it, you were leaning with it up the straight to try and say, come on, winning post, where are you? And Father Schofield finished up getting it home by 0.3 of a length from, as I said, loading a 60-1 chance, who sat back in third last position and circled the field coming to the turn, and was 4 wide up outside the leaders, and those 4 around the turn on the fence. The winner, Wiley Bay, on its outside by that time stage was Top Glory. 3 wide outside it was the second pick for zero, and outside it was the 60-1 chance loading, and they ran first, second, third and fourth. Margins only 0.3 by 1.3 by 1.4. It wasn't fully tested at the finish, but it had its chance per zero. They're not much good, those runners, and luckily, as I said, the wind had died, because the favourite would have got beat if it would have been still blowing come the last. And this proves that what I was talking about, they were most probably not too sure about who I thought would lead, Prince Christian, about getting the distance, the 1,350 metres. So when they jumped out, terrific Tommy Berry, he didn't press forward. He could have led if he wanted to, but he was content in sitting third on the fence on Prince Christian, and allowing to cross him and go to the lead was the winner, Doomsman. And it was a Doomsman for the captains. It was $13 into $8. $13 into $8, Doomsman. Extremely well backed. There were only 3 runners backed in this race. I'll give you the fluctuations in a minute. On the screen it said 113% on the screen, but I haven't bothered adding them up, but I think there was less than when I tell you what they were, there was less in the marketplace, even amongst the 4 of us. But as I said, it was allowed to cross and go to the lead, Doomsman, locally trained by Tracy Bartley, who got a double, and it fought on all the way down the straight to hold off the horse who finished up coming and sitting on us outside, Shilling Stone, who never had a price. And running third was Prince Christian, who eased off their heels after turning, after sitting third on the fence, and he went down by margins were 0.2 by 0.5, and then it was only 0.9 to a horse sitting handy in the run Distillery, who could have been a little bit wide or tucked in somewhere, and it might have been trapped wide, Chiliad, or it might have got a bit of cover, I'm not too sure, but it ran fourth, and it was extremely well backed. These were the fluctuations. Shillingston went from $8 out to $17. Plugger from $4.40 to $6. Amazing Award from $8 out to $11 or $10. Bo Collin from 51 to 101. Prince Christian never had a name, the opening favourite, $3.50 to $4.60. Haven't struck it for a blow yet. It was well backed. Chiliad, one of only really two runners backed. Hitting the winner. Chiliad went up $7, got out to $8, and only started $4.80. Very well backed. The next runner, Doomsman, as I said, very well backed. It went up $12. I gave $13. The pros said, how much me? I only started $8. And then we get to the bottom. The next number 8 was scratched. Get to number 9. Distillery was $15 to 26. Varka Moana never had a name. $7 out to $10. Shanghai and the bottom one, Far Style, both $15 out to 21. The pair of them. I won't bother adding it up, but it was less than the 113 that was on the screen, and the winner was well backed. It was a losing race for the captains. That's all I want to say about the meeting. It wasn't worth a caser. It was fly blown, tumbleweed blowing through the ring, and what were we doing there? At one stage there, we all got together and we said, who do we see, the secretary or the stewards? And say, do you mind if we go home? There are no punters here. But we didn't do it. We stayed there and it looked like fools betting to an empty house. See you tomorrow when there's when it's the races are on at Rosie Hill tomorrow. Hope you're back a winner. Good evening.